What's up, worldwide family? Welcome back to the channel. Jimmy Flipping Deals. Today is Sunday. Today's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope y'all are making the best out of this day for whatever it is normally for you. I hope the best for you. I know sometimes that, in all honesty, holidays can be difficult for people, and I totally get that. But if you are one of those for this holiday, this too shall pass, right? For everybody else that's enjoying their day, I'm happy that it's a good day. I know personally, thankfully, it's a good day for me, so happy Mother's Day. So welcome back. It is Sunday. Doing the darn thing. Actually went to go see with family. Went to go see my mom, and my sister, and everybody else that was around. Got to see them, so that was awesome. And then I left the store, right? Or I left the store. I got to the store after. She lives in a neighboring town, so I was able to go and see that store for what it brings, and it is becoming one of my stores, right? You know, like I know where the clearance section is. I'm starting to learn the setup of the place, and I'm not there all the time, but I'm there enough where I'm starting to learn it. And after I went through some of the sections on the way from the front door, heading towards the clearance, kind of clearing that side of the store, I got to the clearance aisle, and I made it probably, 5 or 6 foot down. It's full, right? But everything I look at is barely marked down. We're talking 5-10% off. And I'm sorry, for those that don't know, I go by Jimmy Flipping Deals. I am a full-time reseller. This is my job to buy, sell, flip things for a profit on platforms like eBay, Amazon, you name it, pretty well I'm there. You may see my logos from time to time on my pictures or somewhere else online. Anyway, welcome to the channel. If you're new, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Anyway, back to the clearance, right? I get about 5 foot into it or whatever, and there's like no discounts, like none. I was like, oh, they're not really selling this stuff, they're just storing it. Which is the case sometimes, especially here lately. It is difficult. It's feast or famine when it comes to clearance. That's why I don't mind buying more than I can process at any given time. That way, as it slows down, I don't have an issue with sourcing, because the sourcing is already taken care of. In a different life, in a different business, back early on in my years, when I was like 20, I had a business where it was feast and famine as far as the money. I may not make and this is back 20-something years ago, right? Without giving my age away too much, in case that was a bald reference. Anyways, I wouldn't get anything for 2, 3, 4 weeks, with my family dependent on money, and then I would get a job that would make $6,000 or $8,000 in a month, and it would take a month, and then the next month I would have virtually nothing again, and then 2 weeks after that, or 3 weeks, or a month, you name it, then there's another $10,000 contract or whatever. So I got real used to the feast and famine idea, and I've kind of incorporated that into this philosophy as far as stockpiling clearance. Right as I quit my job, I had about 30 of the big 27-gallon totes full of merchandise that wasn't cataloged yet, and business has grown to the point that it was becoming difficult to hold down a full-time job. I was thinking about going part-time, but some issues at work beyond my present control. Not saying it wasn't my fault, but beyond my present control. They really, the big boss, the big, well above me, past the store level, didn't care for me. There's a lot of my life, I'm not perfect now, but there's a lot of my life that I was far from the character that I am now, and some of that came back to bite me. turn on the defrost. It's kind of raining and I'm fogging up a little bit. Thankfully, the windshield wipers aren't doing that. So anyway, as my company at the store level was like, well, maybe we can put you in this section or this section of the store. Maybe you'll be out of the reach of the big boss, you know, you can what do you call that? Fly under the radar. And my business was getting to the point that I said, you know what, I'm good. I'll just go. Back to my story with the clearance. You're distracting me. So I come across one thing that has been sitting there for months, because it's oversaturation. It's not that there's anything wrong with the product. It's just they made too much of it. And it's been sitting there on, on eBay, something like 60 of them selling last 90 days. The issue with that is there's 140 sellers, right? But this model is not, it's not like they keep making this. This was another one-off from China underneath this label. The next label will have a whole brand new name and maybe the same brand, but it'll be a different name. Like this one, there's short supply, and when the supply that's there goes away, then the price will go back up to where it ought to be. Right now, the sellers get desperate. As sellers, I'm sure, when you buy a product, you buy a $20 product and see that it's selling for $80, and then you wake up the next day and it's selling for $20. It's discouraging, and part of you just wants your money back, right? Or any bit of your money back at all. And I think some people get into that trap. I have bought items for, let me make sure I'm saying this right, for $40 that were going for $250, and wake up the next morning and they're selling for $80, and the thing costs $30 to ship, plus fees make it $42 on $80. And even some down to 68, but even at 80, so you're already at below break even, just barely, but still, overnight the price drops, right? So same thing has happened with these units that I bought, and they had a lot of them. I say a lot, they had 11 of them, bought them for 10, and if I don't want to hold out, in short order, within the next few months, I would imagine. I should be able to sell them for 35. They should ship for about 12, so 10 in, probably 5 to 10 out, realistically. If I wanted to hold them longer than that, some of the big stores, some of the big names, are selling them at $50. That's what they started out at. Anyway, sold for they are currently selling on some of the bigger name stores for $50. I bought them for 10. I bought 11 of them, so that's awesome, right? Then I was able to come up with quite a few different products, and I'm not going to go into the exact products, but I came up with quite a bit. Long story short, I was in the store for an hour, maybe, and I came up with realistically about $200 worth of product. So it's been an absolutely phenomenal day. I hope as far as sourcing, y'all are doing well. I hope sales are doing well. I know as it sits right now, when I go home, I got to do 9 orders that definitely take care of today's pay. And that is awesome. And the day's not over yet, so hopefully some more will continue to chime off. Hopefully in there I can get some listed, because I do believe that I fell short on my quota yesterday, but I'm not upset as far as my listing quota. My sales quota was like double what it had to be to meet base bills, right? Which isn't a lot. It's not. I live very conservatively, to pull some lines from an old movie, you know, I have a jar that I put money in. I stick it on top of the refrigerator. Not true, by the way, but follow me. And I want to put some more in it. That's why I'm here. You know, the guy's talking about this little jar of money. I live very conservatively. Maybe one day I'll have the money where I feel it's possible not to. But as it sits, let me turn that off. Sorry about that. I thought I turned it off. Let's try again. Anyways. I went off on that tangent to say it doesn't take a lot for me to take care of my living, and I made at least a couple times that yesterday. So grateful about that. That allows me to take that money, that extra money, and build the business. That way I can still continue, despite moving out on my own, to experience exponential growth over the next 2 to 3 years before I have to scale the business as far as manpower goes. I do believe there's still a lot more potential left just with me. Matter of fact, the future seems very bright. Back to the listing quota. I did not make the listing quota because I had a breakthrough, a mental breakthrough, not a mental breakdown, but a breakthrough. I swear it wasn't a breakdown. I swear it. I swear. Okay. Anyways, a little goofy today. That's okay. A little coffeeed up, a little lack of sleep. I had a breakthrough on the website. I do sell on eBay and Amazon and different marketplaces throughout the country. However, I also have my website, which is www.jamestowntrading.com, and I am working on developing it into a point that allows for world domination. Totally joking. But I do want it to get better, right? And I had a breakthrough. You know, I am a reseller. I don't necessarily, when I buy something with variance, something with differences, you know, let's just say shoes. When I buy shoes, I don't necessarily get a supply of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9s, 10s, all the way up to, you know, 14s, 15s, 16s, whatever. I don't get all that. I get like a size, right? And how frustrating. I know for me personally, I was looking for some shoes the other day, and, you know, I am on one of the marketplaces looking for shoes for me personally, and I find a pair that I like, and I'm like, ooh, I want those. What are those? I want those, right? And then they don't have them in my size. I'm like, yeah, you know, whatever. So I go looking for another one, different ones, different whatever, and I, those are it, those are it, not my size. Even when I put in the keywords, you know, because like, you know, for whatever reason, you pull all kinds of junk too, right? You know, I'm looking for, let's say, Nikes, and I get Nike shoes, and instead of Nike shoes, I get a Nike jumpsuit or whatever. Like, the search engines are just ridiculous, excuse me. Yeah, so frustrating. After a few, I'm like, you know what, forget it, I'm done. I'll look some other time, and I leave. And it occurred to me, people do that all the time. People do that on those sites. They also do it on my site, right? So things are changing on my website, where when you click on, say, shoes, right? Like men's shoes, the next screen that pops up will say something to the effect of, choose your size. Because I don't get all of the sizes, so I don't want them looking at pictures of all the stuff that they can't have. All right, I'm a men's 10.5. Here's all the 10.5s I got. And that's got to remove one layer of friction for the customers, which equals dollars. It's got to. Absolutely got to. It's going to take a little work. I've also figured out how to automate it, which is awesome. Yeah, so one and done, get the work done, and then it does it itself. I tell you, phenomenal. So yeah, there I am. I'm not hurt about not getting my quota done, because I made some improvements on the site. I've still got a lot of work to do to get those, but like I said a few videos ago, sometimes I got to take some steps. put some puzzle pieces in their place, so I got a bigger idea of what the full picture is supposed to look like, and that's the next step. Organize all of the variant offerings on my website by size, and also by like men's, women's, and then by size. Baseball bats, 26, 27, weights, stuff like that, different things. So phenomenal. I'm very happy to have that. It's nice to get those. Oh my goodnesses. So if you haven't seen the site, www.jamestowntrading.com, you can use, I don't think I said it yet, you can use the coupon code YouTube just for y'all for an extra 10% off. And I will honor, because I'm a one-man show, and sometimes I personally have price discrepancies between all of the websites because I sell on a lot of them. I will always, without a doubt, honor the cheapest price plus give you the 10% off. And just added instant messaging to my website. So reach out, hit me up, and send me a message straight to my phone. I say I'll get back to you within a day, but the only reason I say that is because I might be sleeping when you send me a message. Doesn't matter the time, I sleep weird hours, but if I'm not sleeping, I'll get back to you immediately. All right? So super cool. Y'all go check it out, give it a test drive. You don't even have to buy anything. Let me know what quirks you run into if you find any, because I'm thinking it's starting to look pretty seamless. Now I just need more and more product, which is why I'm at the store. Y'all have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow.